I'm Tony, and welcome to Yay or Nay, where I review current movies, Broadway shows, and the best of theme park entertainment with either a yay or a nay. This episode, I'm reviewing The Good Dinosaur. So get out your pens and papers, because it's time to review. And I lost my voice, so this will be very interesting. Pixar animation is one of the biggest success stories of all time, but lately it has been kind of a miss. With Cars 2, Brave, and Monsters University, it seemed that Pixar was running out of ideas. And having recently announced their new lineup, it seems like the company who swore to never get into the sequel business is seriously getting into the sequel business. But their latest original film, Inside Out, was a huge hit, being their third highest grossing film after Toy Story 3 and Finding Nemo. It should also be noted that Pixar had 2 movies released in 2015. Mostly because The Good Dinosaur didn't make its original 2014 date. Pixar reconstructed the whole movie 3 times with 3 different directors and 2 different casts. Not only that, but after the film's production, Pixar pulled the plug on the Pixar Canada plan, and 67 people from Pixar lost their jobs. That's not so good, Good Dinosaur. So will Pixar make a comeback or a step back? And will the once cutting-edge studio be as prehistoric as their newest theme? So first off, I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. Like I said, I kind of am losing my voice a little bit, so I'll be drinking tea the entire time. This is Twinings Peppermint Tea. It is amazing, and this is some product placement, but they're not paying me anything. Anyways, so going in to see The Good Dinosaur, I had 0 expectations for this movie. I had no idea what it was about. I didn't understand it from the trailers. Like, it made no sense at all. I didn't get it. It looked like a movie you would get in a McDonald's kids meal. So imagine my surprise when I kind of actually enjoyed this movie. And kids love this movie. I mean, if you have kids, make sure you go see this movie because they were laughing. They were really enjoying this movie. I think this movie's gonna be the new Cars, because a lot of people didn't like Cars. I liked Cars, yeah, but kids loved Cars, and I think kids love this movie. It's not as sophisticated as, WALL-E or Toy Story 3 or Finding Nemo, but it's still a good movie. There is some sophistication to it, in the way that the human is playing the animal character, and the animal character is playing the human type character. That's kind of cool. I think that was like the main idea behind this movie, and then they're just like, okay, let's just build upon that. But every time the kid howled, I kind of rolled my eyes. Okay, now let's talk about the plot. The plot was very, very simple. I kind of felt like they took an episode of Lassie and just animated dinosaurs over it, because it was very Lassie, it was very cowboy. Honestly, it was a Western movie for kids featuring dinosaurs. You had the farmer's son who basically found a wolf, and the 2 of them got lost in the woods, and then they met a crazy old miner, then met a bunch of bandits, and then met some cowboys who taught them a lesson, and then met some hillbillies, and then went back to the bandits and got their revenge on the bandits, and went back to the farm, and everything was happily ever after, and returned the wolf to the pack. That's literally what the movie was, but they basically took that and said, let's make it with dinosaurs. Sorry, my energy is so low. It's the holiday seasons, I guess, and peppermint tea just relaxes me. I have no idea what I'm saying. Anyway, if you didn't see this movie, I'm going to spoil it. Sorry, I spoil movies in my reviews, so hopefully you saw this movie. But anyway, I knew the dad was gonna die. As soon as they were walking up to the mountain, I'm like, when you're watching someone about to trip and fall, I'm like, ooh, your dinosaur dad, turn around, you're gonna die, I just know it. And, he ends up dying. And it was literally the exact same way Mufasa died. Like, Mufasa and Simba, how Simba's on the cliff watching over Mufasa, and he's about to fall in? That's literally what happened. I remember the kid next to me going, pfft. And I'm almost crying. I'm not really crying. I cried later on, but I wasn't really feeling it. I was like, okay, here's Pixar again, killing a character. And the kid next to me, he was like, Disney. And that's what he said, and I was like, little kid, why can't you just enjoy the movie? But at the same time, he's right. I mean, Pixar is becoming almost this cliche of how they're basically manipulating you to cry. And it didn't really work in the beginning. I really didn't feel that bad for him. I liked the father character a lot, but I knew he was going to die, and it was very quick, and it was very okay, they just had to do this. The standout thing in this film is the landscape. It's basically screensavers the movie. I mean, all the landscapes are just so beautiful, and I couldn't believe that I was watching an animated movie, because people made that. That's all man-made. from technology, and I was just blown away by the beauty of the landscape and the trees and the leaves and the water. The water looked amazing, so Finding Dory is going to look spectacular because the water in this looked amazing. But the dinosaurs, however, looked really fake, looked really cheesy. Also, the movie was a little violent. Not really violent, but when Spot, who is the kid's name is Spot, like a dog, there's some cleverness, I guess, there. The kid bites the pterodactyl's wing. And the pterodactyls are actually really bad in this film. They're mean. They're not like Petrie at all. They're actually mean bandits. And the kid actually bites the pterodactyl's wing. Like, he bites a hole in it, and I'm like, this was my face. The entire, like, when that happened, I was like, I didn't know how to respond to this. And I just looked in the theater like, did anyone else react like me? Because I was blown away that the kid actually bit a hole in the pterodactyl's wing. And that's how they got away. And I was like, oh my god. I don't know how I feel about that, you know? But it was all very violent. The kid actually ripped off a giant bug's head. And when the bug came on, there was like that big bug he was trying to feed the dinosaur. And they got close into its head, and they were showing the bug's head. And I got a little grossed out, I'm not gonna lie. So I was staring at the person's head in front of me. And as soon as the bug went away, I was like, okay, back to the screen. You know, that person's balding, but the bug's gone. Let's talk about the berry scene when they eat the berries. And the berries, I guess, are poisonous, or they're basically LSD berries. Like, the kids are tripping. Like, they're going crazy. And all the kids in the audience were laughing hysterical. And, like, they were like, oh, the dinosaur's drunk. I'm like, that's not drunk, but I'm like, the kid's getting close to it. It was basically the scene in 21 Jump Street, the new one, when they're like, when they take the drug and they're talking to the coach. That was basically the exact same thing that happened, and I'm like, this is a kid's movie. Like, everything was pretty much kid-oriented until this. The crazy old Triceratops, who had Debbie the bird on his horn, and Debbie was just a great character. I love Debbie. Didn't say one word. It was my favorite character. Let's talk about the relationship between Arlo the dinosaur and Spot, who was the boy. Fantastic. It was very interesting watching an animated movie where the acting was so good. I'm like, wow, a person drew this. A person made this on a computer. Like, it kind of blew me away that sort of human emotion could be transcribed into animation. It kind of blew me away. I love Spot. Spot is like one of my new favorite Pixar characters. He's just so funny, adorable looking kid. I think he's going to be the new Boo, like, cause he kind of had that Boo cuteness from Monsters Inc. And so they were pretty much the same characters. I would love to see them in a movie one day, Boo and Spot. At the ending, but I thought it was very human that Arlo was like, no, you're staying with me. Let's go, Spot. You know what I mean? Because we would all do that to our dog, But at the end, when they say goodbye to each other, it was pretty much Lassie. That's why I said in the beginning Lassie, but I was crying, I was in tears. The entire audience was in tears. The guy in front of me was like huffing and puffing in tears. If you're gonna see this movie, bring some tissues because you're gonna cry at the end. Not at the way end, because the ending itself isn't that good. It's kind of like, okay, there it is, because you're waiting for it. As soon as they mentioned it in the beginning with the whole making your mark, which I loved, you knew that was going to be the ending. But I wish there was a little more of that, because it just ended really quickly. But I think the main crying point of this movie is when the two say goodbye to each other, because I was in tears. It was so sad, but it was happy sad because I hope they see each other again. Oh my god, now I'm depressed. Oh, thank god for my peppermint tea. Anyway, that's my review for The Good Dinosaur. I really enjoyed it, so we're gonna give it a yay. Really quickly, let's just talk about the short that plays in front of The Good Dinosaur. It's like an Indian short where there's like a little kid, and it's about the Indian gods, I guess. It's very, very cool, and the animation is really spot on. So yeah, tune in for more movie reviews. My name's Tony, and this is Yay or Nay. See you guys.